Before Thang Long had a name, this land already breathed with quiet life. Rivers flowed gently through wide plains. Rice fields followed the rhythm of the seasons. Villages rose and rested with the sun. This was a land shaped not by conquest, but by patience. For centuries, the people of this region learned how to live in balance with water, with soil, and with one another. They understood that survival did not always require force, but awareness. Morning mist drifted over the fields. Footsteps pressed softly into wet earth. Life moved slowly, yet steadily forward. In this silence, history was already forming. At the turn of the first millennium, Vietnam stood at a threshold. The land had known struggle, division, and resilience. Dynasties had risen and fallen, often bound by the limits of geography and fear. Safety had been valued above openness, enclosure above possibility. And yet, the future was quietly waiting for a different kind of leader. Not one who would shout, not one who would conquer, but one who would see. In the calm shelter of a Buddhist temple, a child grew. His name was Ly Cong Uan. He was not raised among royal banners or trained in the art of domination. Instead, his early years were shaped by silence. The sound of wooden bells, the scent of incense, the slow turning of pages in worn sutras. In the temple, there was no need to prove strength, only the need to listen. Monks taught him not through commands, but through presence, through example. They taught him that true authority begins with understanding oneself, that leadership without compassion creates only fear, and fear cannot sustain a nation. As seasons passed, the boy learned discipline without harshness, and confidence without arrogance. He watched the world carefully, and the world, slowly, began to trust him. Time moved forward. The boy became a man. Ly Cong Uan did not rise through spectacle. He rose through reliability. In a court accustomed to power struggles, his calm presence stood apart. Where others argued, he listened. Where others reacted, he reflected. Trust gathered around him without force. Officials respected him not because they feared him, but because they believed in him. This was rare. In an age where leadership often meant dominance, Ly Cong Uan represented something quieter and stronger. He understood that a ruler's true task was not to rule people, but to serve the future. Hualu was safe. Surrounded by mountains, protected by narrow valleys, it had served its purpose. But safety has limits. The capital was enclosed, geographically and imaginatively. Trade was constrained. Growth was restricted. The land could not breathe. Ly Cong Uan saw what others had accepted. He saw that protection alone was no longer enough. A nation ready to grow must have space. Space for people, space for ideas, space for time. He understood that the greatest risk was not moving, but staying still. There were no cries of rebellion, no violent overthrow. The decision to leave Hualu was made with calm clarity. People moved gently along rivers. Boats glided through mist. Banners remained low. This was not conquest. It was transition. A journey guided by vision, not ambition. Step by step, the nation moved forward. As the procession reached open land, a sign appeared. A dragon rose, not in fury, but in grace. It symbolized awakening, not war. A message understood deeply by those who watched. This land was ready. The new capital would be named Thang Long, the Rising Dragon. A city not built on fear, but on foresight. Thang Long opened itself to rivers, to trade, to people. Wooden houses lined wide banks. Boats came and went freely. Ideas flowed alongside goods. The capital was no longer enclosed. It was connected. Ly Cong Uan did not rule from isolation. He ruled from openness. He believed that stability comes not from control, but from inclusion. In quiet chambers, Ly Cong Uan wrote what would become one of the most visionary documents in Vietnamese history, the Edict on the Transfer of the Capital. It spoke not of glory, but of responsibility, of choosing a place that benefits the people, not the ruler, of considering geography, economy, and the lives of generations yet unborn. This was governance as foresight, a decision not for today, but for 1,000 years. Thang Long grew, not aggressively, naturally. Education flourished. Buddhism guided ethics. Communities stabilized. The city adapted to floods, to change, to time, because it had been placed with wisdom. Centuries passed. Dynasties changed. Names evolved. But the city remained. Today, we call it Hanoi, still shaped by rivers, still open to the sky, still carrying the quiet imprint of a decision made long ago. Ly Cong Uan did not build monuments to himself. He built conditions for life. His legacy is not found in conquest, but in continuity, in streets where children walk freely, in bridges that connect rather than divide. A quiet decision made 1,000 years ago still shapes the rhythm of life today. And in that rhythm, we are reminded, true leadership does not shout. It listens, it sees, and it chooses the future calmly.